The next question I want to ask is who's my tribe? What does my ideal customer look like in terms of demographics? In other words, things like age, sex, gender, location, etc. And psychographics in terms of personality type, thinking style, decision-making process. Who is that person? How do I respond and relate to that person? So what I'd like you to do to get started is look at your customers right now. Now, we know the Pareto principle. 80% of your customers give you 20% of your challenges. 20% of your customers give you 80% of the challenges. But here's the thing. Those 20% of your customers that are giving you 80% of your revenue and hardly any challenges, those are your perfect customers. You want more of those. You don't want to go out and just get that crazy notion out of your head that every single customer out there is a perfect fit for you. No, they're not. You've got to be selective, because how long does it take to prospect the wrong customer? Well, pretty much as long as it takes to prospect the right one. So this is the important thing, is I want you to stop wasting your time. I want you to start investing your time only into finding more of those perfect customers. So in order to do that, what I'd like you to do to get started, because ultimately I'd like you to explore your whole top 20% of your customers. You know those ones you love, the ones that never give you problems, the ones where things just seem to work, their bills are always paid on time, things just work with those customers. We want to get to that, but let's start bite-sized chunks. Remember, how do you eat an elephant? Well, one bite at a time. So here's the thing. Think very carefully. Look at your top 5 customers. What is it about them that you love? What is it that makes them a perfect fit? Is it because they pay their bills on time? Is it because they never give you hassles? Is it because of their location, the size of the organization, the people that are there? What is it? And I want you to think very carefully, okay? Look at those organizations. Look at the demographics. So in terms of industry, what industry are those perfect customers located in? What markets do they serve? What's their location? Is location an issue? If it is, well, what's the perfect location for your customers? What's the turnover of those organizations? Are they big organizations? Are they small organizations? What's the number of employees? I mean, is it big companies in terms of turnover but small in terms of employees? Or is it big turnover, big numbers of employees? So think very carefully. These are very important questions to answer, because what you're looking to do is identify your perfect future customer. Look at the socioeconomic characteristics of the organization. Is it important to you that they have a social responsibility program? Is it important to you that they don't damage the environment? Is it important to you that they have a very strong green footprint? What is important to you? Because remember, your energy is going to come across. And if you're dealing with a company that's unethical, or a company that has a terrible carbon footprint, who doesn't worry about the environment, but you're very conscious about the environment, well, think carefully. Is that your perfect customer? So there's a lot more that goes into the socio-economic characteristics of your customer than you realize. It's a really critical, important thing to understand. What about the amount of packages or parcels that they move? I mean, surely that's got to be a critical factor that comes into it as well. So think, introspect, sit for a moment and ask yourself, what is it about these customers that make them an absolutely perfect fit for my organization? Next thing I want you to do is, when you're exploring who your tribe is, the next question I want to ask is, people don't buy your products. Or hang on, let me revise that. Businesses don't buy your products or services. People do. So if it's indeed people that make the buying decision, then look at those perfect organizations, your top 5 customers, and go, okay, so we understand the demographics of the organization, but let's look at the demographics of the individual. Who is the perfect person at the perfect customer that would be my perfect tribe? So let's again look at the demographics. Well, gender, age, position in the organizational hierarchy, the educational level, are they into exercise? Are they on a spiritual journey? Well, what's important to you? Do they have hobbies that are similar to yours? So think very carefully. What demographic characteristics about the individual would make that person attractive? Because when you start exploring, looking for new customers, how easy will it be to eliminate? You see, you're not going to find customers like this, but the benefit of knowing who your tribe is it gives you the ability to very quickly eliminate the ones that are wrong. So invest the time and ask yourself, what do I need to do in order to identify the demographics? What is the perfect demographic profile of my organization that I like? In other words, based on the top 5 customers. And within those organizations, who are those individuals? And what is the psychographic, or should I rather say demographic profile of the individuals within those organizations? The next question you want to be asking is, describe the people, so the person. You've looked at the demographic profile. Now what we want to do is we want to explore and have a look at those 5 perfect organizations, your top 5 customers, your best perfect customers, ones you want more of. Have a look at those and ask the question, what are the psychographic profile, or what is the psychographic profile of those individuals? In other words, what is the reason why someone would buy from you or your organization? So this is where you can look at things like the personality type. Now obviously, as I've said to you before, people like to buy from people like them. So if you're an A-type, go hard type of personality type, well, maybe that's the kind of person you want to sell to, because people like to buy from people like them. Obviously, you can be the chameleon and you can change and act like them, think like them, communicate like them. But ultimately, first prize would always be to find somebody like you. Secondly, what is their thinking style? How do they think? Are they somebody who likes loads and loads of data? Are they somebody who just wants a summary? Are they someone who worries about their people? Is it all about, how's this going to affect my people? Or is it somebody that's very systematic and organized? So think very, very carefully about the thinking style of the people that you work with. Next, you want to think about their buyer habits. What is it that makes them make a buying decision? When will they, what will it take for them to change supplier? What will it take for them to increase, in other words, allow you to cross-sell or upsell into their organization? So think very, very carefully, what is the buying process, the buying habits within the organization that would be ideal if you could get something similar? Next, you want to have a look at hobbies. Are the hobbies that the people perform, is that important? Is the sport that they take part in, is that important? What about their values? What kind of values? Would you like to deal with ethical people? Maybe you want to deal with people who are willing to take bribes. I don't know, I'm being ridiculous here, but I want you to think very carefully. Think first of all about the organization. So from an organizational perspective, ask yourself the question, what are those demographic characteristics, those things that are really critical in our top 5 customers? Then within that organization, bearing in mind that nobody, or should I rather say no organization, has ever bought a single product or a service, but people within those organizations have. And that's why I want you to think carefully. Think about the individuals. What is the perfect kind of person that it would be that you love doing business with? Remember, it's so easy to do business with people you like. It's so easy to do business with people that have hobbies, who have sport, who have things in common with you. So what is it that you'd be looking for in individuals? When you're researching and having a look at companies and organizations, who would be that ideal person in terms of thinking style, decision-making processes, personality types? What is the perfect person? Because like I said before, it takes as long to prospect the wrong customer as it does to prospect the right customer.